Good morning, everyone, especially this very good morning. So, my report is all about gender and other sectors of society. So, first, in history, feminism began when women started speaking out against the unfair and equal treatment they experience in society. So, in history, ang feminism kay nag-start og speaking out ang women against the unfair uh, equal treatment. So this time is ang tanan mga babae kay nagtigom aron kanang makuan ang unfair nga treatment sa usa ka babae. So feminists are feminism movement, a movement that fight for women's equal rights and equal treatment for both women and men. So let's proceed to the four waves of feminism. So first wave of feminism is called the suffragette movement, began in 1884 when about 200 women gathered to demand the rights to vote, political equal, poverty rights, and marital freedom. So sa first wave of feminism kay 200 women kay nagdemand sila nga sa kuan nga naa sila'y katungod mubuto, katungod nga katungod sa property rights and marital freedom. So let's proceed to the second waves of feminism. The second wave of feminism in 1963 to 1980s was led by different colors and cultures devoted to fix unfair treatment and society. So this second waves of feminism is uh, daghang mga different culture nga mabayad and different color, mga Amerikana, mga Negra. So silang tanan is ni murag nag-collaborate sila tanan para sa ilahang rights sa equal treatment of women, freedom to decide about their own body. Kay usually sa unad murag dili sila ka-decide sa ilang body, ilang suoton kay dapat ang boys mo magdesisyon if minyo na kana. So, fair job opportunities. So, sa unang panahon kay ang naarajoy katungod nga mo trabaho is ang lalaki kay ang babae sa panimalay ra jud siya. So, protections from violence, rights to birth control. So, na sila katungod nga dili sa sila magnagdos, mao na ilahang pakigbato dito sa second waves of feminism. Let's proceed to the third wave of feminism in 1990s. The batch of feminism tried to change and update the meaning of being feminist. They wanted people to see that a feminist be anyone and that women are not all the same. This wave shown that women can fight for equality in many different ways. So, in third waves is ang mga babae is they wanted people to see the feminists can be anyone. So dili ang kani nga third wave is all about kanang ilang pakigbato kay ang tanan nga bay dili equal, dili mao mga situation. So and then they show that women can fight for equality. So ang mga babae ko na makigbato in equal nga pamaagi. So let's proceed to the last one. We have fourth wave of feminism. For the wave of feminism started around 2012. This movement focused on fixing gender rules that limit women and stop the unfair treatment they face in society. So, the fourth wave is diri na ang kuan kanang fix na ang mga gender rules. Fix na ang gender rules that limit women in stopping the unfair treatment. So, the next one is Feminists for Basic Principles. Number one, working to increase equality. So, feminists believe that the society should push to change towards gender equality. Number two, expanding human choice. So, feminists believe that both men and women should have the freedom to develop their human interests, talents, even if those interests and talents conflict with conflict. Number three, eliminating gender stratification. Feminists oppose laws and culture norms that limit income, educational, and job opportunities for women. So, the last one, feminists basic principles. We have ending sexual violence and promoting sexual freedom. That's
Good day everyone, especially to you sir. So I am the next reporter and my report is all about gender norms and women's political participation, global trends and findings on norm change by Rachel George. So women's political participation saw major milestones in 2018 with significant increases in female candidates and record-breaking representations in countries like Lebanon, Rwanda, and the United States. However, global representations remain low overall as harmful gender norms continue to limit women's presence in political leadership despite gradual progress. So in 2018, women made major advances in politics with more female candidates and record levels of representations in countries such as Lebanon, Rwanda, and the United States. However, women are still underrepresented globally because harmful gender norms continue to restrict their participation in political leadership. Next is voting, politics, and gender norms. Gender norms strongly shape women's political engagements, influencing their voting rights, participation levels, and involvement in political activities, even as global enfranchisement and greater gender equally have increased women political voice. Despite progress, women continue to lag behind men in political engagement due to persistent norms about family rules, differences in income and civic skills, and varying patterns of participations across democracies. So, gender norms play a major role in shaping women's political participation by influencing their voting rights, level of involvement, and engagement in political activities. Although global enfranchisement and advances in gender equality have strengthened women's political voice, women still participate less than men. This gap persists because of enduring expectations about women, family rules, inequalities in income and civic skills, and different patterns of political participations across democratic societies. Next is women's movements and gender norms. Gender norms and the triple burden of work limit women's ability to participate fully in politics, while some women also reinforce traditional gender roles through political activism, contributing to movements that uphold existing gender orders. Although women have played crucial roles in conflict resolution, they are often included from the formal political and peace-building processes afterward, showing the need for strong women's participation at all levels to achieve sustainable political representation and equality. So, gender norms and the triple burden of paid work, household duties, and caregiving limit women's full participations in politics in some cases. Women also support tradition gender roles through political activism, reinforcing existing power structures. Although women play important roles in conflict resolution, they are often included from formal political and peace building processes. Afterward, this highlights a need for strong women participation at all levels to achieve lasting political representation and gender equality. Next is political representation and gender norms. Gender norms continue to restrict women's public roles and contribute to resistance against their political leadership, creating practical barriers to participation despite ongoing debates and mixed results surrounding gender quotas. Although women do not vote as a single bloc, more representative governments tend to be more stable, and evidence suggests women's leaders are often more likely than men to address issues affecting women. Though funding remain inclusive, inconclusive and required further research. So, gender norms still limits women's roles in public life and fuel resistance to women political leadership, creating real barriers to participation even as gender quotas are debated and show mixed results. While women do not vote as a single unified group, governments with stronger female representation tends to be more stable. Research also suggests that women leaders are often more responsive to women's issues than men, though the evidence is not yet conclusive and needs further study. So next is politics, gender norms, and young people looking ahead. Harmful gender norms limit young women's political participations, but strong female roles model and exposure to women leaders can inspire greater engagement and break entrenched stereotypes. And combination of civic education programs, leadership training, grassroots initiatives, and continued research is needed to support young women involved and build more inclusive and stable political system. So, harmful gender reduce young women's participations in politics, but visible female role models and exposure to men leaders can motivate engagement and challenge stereotypes. To support young women and create more inclusive and stable politics system, a combination approach is needed: civic education, leadership training, grassroots initiatives, and continued research. And that's all. Thank you.
So next is reading 3, gender mainstreaming. So gender mainstreaming is the integration of a gender equality perspective at all stages and level of policies, programs, and projects. So it considers the different needs, living conditions, and circumstances of women and men. So it aims to enhance the gender equality and prevent increasing inequality. It so in the school program, to in so in the school program it ensures the equals of both men and women. Then next is historical background. So it introduced the 1985 Nairobi World Conference on Women and adapted as a strategy in the Beijing Platform for Action 1995. So it is defined the Council in the Europe in 1998. So it is reorganized and evaluating the process of include gender equality perspective at all stages. So the purpose of this it is to the purpose of this is to address the hidden gender inequalities, ensure policies benefit both men and women. So to reduce the social and economic cost of gender inequality. So in the government it is hiring the policies promote equal, fair, and promotion for both men and women. So implementation of how, so it is a planning stage in identify the problems, concern, and needs of all beneficiaries. So it is gender analysis and gender impact assessment. So in the political will, awareness, knowledge, resources, and information. So and all factors and all policies areas, even those not obviously related to gender issues. So it is the public transport and it is the public transport and streets lightening are designed to improve for everyone, especially for women. So the long term strategy is the work alongside specific pressure to advance women. So gradual process that transform for policy making and promote social change. Support in global framework like the UN and 2030 or 2030. It is the agenda of sustainable development. So it is the relief program address the specific needs of women, men, children, and elderly.